Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So this video is on two laptops that have just released, or they're getting ready to release, and they've been announced, I should say. It's the Chromebook and the new MacBook. Now recently Apple released their keynotes on their MacBook, and they announced it and everything. And I actually think this is a very nice looking MacBook, and I think the specs that go along with it are pretty nice. But there's a lot that comes along with that. Pretty much with Apple, it's a huge price tag, and that's always been the thing. But a lot of people would argue that you're getting quality from Apple all the time. And as you can see here, I'm just kind of scanning through their website. Some of the specs about this device, obviously you can see here, is very thin, and it seems like companies now are priding themselves on thin devices. But more so, this is a very lightweight laptop. It's 2 pounds and has a 12-inch display. Comes in 3 different colors now, as you can see: gold, silver, and space gray. This just seems to be their theme that they're going with. And if you didn't see the keynote, it looks like they've basically prided themselves on having this full keyboard here on the device and a much more intuitive trackpad, and the trackpad can do more basically. You can see how thin it is. Like I said, they pride themselves on that, and they're saying this is a different Retina type display at 2304 by 1440, 16 by 10 ratio. This is actually a really nice laptop. I was pretty impressed with this in the keynotes. This is probably the only thing that impressed me in the keynotes was this laptop right here. But as you can see here, just scanning through the website, they kind of get you an idea of what it's going to be like. Now, one thing that both of these laptops have in common is this USB-C port, and basically it's just a port that you can do multi things from it. You wouldn't need all the extra things, extra ports, if you didn't need them. But Apple has just this port on here, and then they have a headphone jack, and that's pretty much it. And what they did was they packed in a ton of batteries in here, and then this is the computer. I think that's just very nice. They did a good job with it. So this will set you back. There's a couple of versions, but it starts at $12.99, and you're getting 256 gigs of memory in there with 8 gigs of RAM, which is more than enough to power this thing. It actually is pretty nice. You can see there, it starts at $12.99. And you can see how it compares to the other MacBooks. Yeah, they raised the price, but they're basically trying to get it across that specs don't matter. And I think with Apple's operating system, they've proven that specs really don't matter in a sense if you can get it optimized correctly. So it's a good deal. I think this new MacBook is really nice. Now, is it worth $12.99? I don't know. But when you compare it to the Chromebook, this Chromepixel that Google just released, they were announcing that it's a lot cheaper, and in the other one, because their other Chromepixel was $12.99 to start, and I don't know that it sold at all. I haven't really, I don't know anything about that Chromebook. I'm pretty sure it was a good deal, but I don't know if it actually sold at all. But this new Chromebook starts at $9.99, and immediately when I saw the this Chromebook, I was kind of disappointed in the price for the specs. Immediately, you only get 32 gigs of storage, and then how much of that do you actually get? Yes, it has 8 gigs of RAM. You can either choose 16, but let's jump here to the full specs of this device, and you'll see you're not getting as much as you're getting with the MacBook. You have a 12.8-inch display. You have a higher pixel density, a higher resolution. You have a i5 processor, or you can choose the i7. But more importantly, you have more ports, but you have to rely on an SD card for memory or onboard or cloud storage. And that is something that would be important to me, onboard storage, because I think a lot of people at this point would like to store things directly on the laptop. Especially if you're on the go, and what if you don't have a connection? What if you can't tether your phone? Just a bunch of what ifs. But again, it does have the C-type port. It actually has 2 of them, and it can do 4K output. but the SD card, you know, that's kind of a downer for me. And $1,000 for a laptop that costs that has a 32 gigs built on storage and probably only about 24 available is not a good deal. So of these two, just based on that alone, I mean, Chrome is a good operating system. I'm on it right now. As you can see, I use Chrome. Chrome browser is my default browser. But the body of this thing is nice. It's all aluminum, like they've done. It's about 15 millimeters in thickness. So it's, you know, it's a nice laptop. But when you compare it to the MacBook, I just feel like the MacBook is. I'd rather pay $1,200 for this than to rely on an SD card for my memory. I just, and there's no way to upgrade that either. You either get 32 or 64, and with the MacBook you get 256 or 512. You see, so it's only 226 pixels here and 239 pixels over there. Just based on, you know, on these specs alone, and I like the way it looks. It looks a lot better, and their operating system is good. You know, it is quality. So just having 2 ports on here makes the device look a little bit sleeker. You can do everything wirelessly. It just kind of I like it better than the Chromebook. But what do you think? I put a poll up on Google Plus just a few moments ago, right before recording this video, and tell me what you think. Do you think the Chromebook is the better buy? Based on the specs, or just not so much the specs, but would you buy a Chromebook that's $1,000 for 32 gigs or $1,299 for 64 gigs and then pop an SD card in there? Or would you buy this MacBook with just about equal or better specs or just as good performance, and specs are pretty much equal, but you get a lot more memory on board, and you still get the same amount of RAM there. You can get 16 gigs of RAM on this version, but again, you're limited to 64 gigs of onboard storage. So what do you think, MacBook or Chromepixel? See you guys in the next one. Take care.